美国白人主妇为家人们制作的甜品晚餐。
Okay, we just lined our 9x13 with our cosmic brownies. Now I have my vanilla ice cream. Of course, I'm using Thrifties, and we're gonna scoop up our ice cream and put it right on top of our cosmic brownies so that we have a layered dessert with those brownies. Oh my goodness, I remember eating those up as a kid. So this dessert is gonna be super nostalgic. Obviously I'm doing vanilla ice cream, but you could do chocolate if you're chocolate lovers, but I just love the combination of vanilla with brownies. So we're gonna go ahead and add a full layer of our vanilla ice cream on top of our brownies, and it helps if your ice cream is a little bit soft. Now we're gonna bring in our rubber spatula and just flatten out our ice cream the best we can so that is a flat layer on top of those delicious brownies. All right, that was our full 1.5 quarters of our ice cream. Now we're gonna layer our hot fudge, and we're using the Smuckers, and I did put this in the microwave so that it could be a little bit thinner and easier to drizzle. I mean, what is hot fudge if it is not hot? So we're just gonna add a nice little layer of our hot fudge. It doesn't need to be pretty because we are gonna cover it up. We just wanna make sure that we get a nice chocolatey layer. Okay, we used almost that whole jar, and we're just gonna do a nice little, oh wow. We're kind of just marbling that into our ice cream, which is no problem because as long as we can taste that hot fudge, that's what matters. Beautiful. Okay, and I'm adding another layer of my Little Debbie brownies right on top of that hot fudge and that ice cream. Oh, ho, ho, I am so excited. I love those little candied kisses on top of the Little Debbies. And honestly, you could switch this out for any Little Debbie treat you like. You could do the oatmeal cream pies. You could do some ho-hos and cupcakes. But these are honestly my favorite. My mom would put them in my lunch when I was growing up, and that was when the addiction started. So we're kind of just making like almost like an ice cream sandwich, but we're making something even better than that. All right, and that looks beautiful. We're gonna go ahead and put this to the side, and we're gonna bring in our chilled metal bowl, and I have my heavy whipping cream, and we are going to add a generous amount, about half a quart, which is this whole little box. Then we're gonna come in with our powdered sugar, and we're gonna add as much powdered sugar as we want. I mean, if you're making this, you shouldn't be worried about sugar, so we are going to pile it in there. And then last but certainly not least, we have some vanilla extract, and this one, the lid is actually 1 teaspoon, which is perfect because that's all we need for this simple recipe that's gonna go perfect with our cosmic brownies. Now we have our hand mixer, and it is time to whip this up. We are making a homemade whip topping. Now you could obviously do Cool Whip. That's traditionally what would go with this dessert. But I figure if I'm gonna go big, I might as well make my own homemade whipped cream. I had all the ingredients already in my kitchen, so this was just easier than going out and buying the Cool Whip. But we're just gonna whip this up until it is nice and peaked and then ready to go on top of our delicious dessert. Okay, this whipped together in about 1 minute and 30 seconds, so fast. Now we can bring back our cosmic brownies. They're kind of sinking into the ice cream, which is totally fine. But we are going to put our homemade whip topping right on top of those brownies. Ooh, I'm so excited. This looks absolutely delicious already. We have the ice cream, the hot fudge, the brownies, and now homemade whipped topping. And we have something special that's going on top of this so it can look cute and yummy, which are a necessity for my desserts. Okay, and we're just gonna spread that right on top so that we have a nice layer. Make sure it doesn't kind of sink into our ice cream like how our brownies are. All right, that's as good as it's gonna get. Now we gotta quickly finish this up because that ice cream is melting. We have some chocolate syrup that we're gonna drizzle on top, but this isn't what I meant when I said I have something special. There's something coming directly after our chocolate syrup, and that is some candy coated chips. Kind of gives a little hint in what's in there, and it's gonna add a nice little crunch and some beautiful colors. Now, if you can't find these, you could do like a mini M&M on top, but I just got these off of Amazon, and I think they're gonna be delicious. All right, we gotta get this in the freezer quick and leave it in there for about 4 hours. Okay, we ended up leaving this in the freezer overnight to ensure that our ice cream re-solidified. I did cover it, so keep that in mind, but let's go ahead and dig in. We want to make sure we cut through all of those layers. All right, got this loose. Let's get underneath it.
Oh, look at that.
Look at that. Oh my goodness, those two brownie layers kind of merged together. What I recommend is doing the first layer and the ice cream, letting it solidify, and then doing the second brownie layer. But oh my gosh, that looks absolutely delicious.
Is it good?
Oh my gosh, that is absolutely incredible. Wow.